Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
Keep dreaming. It's good to have goals in life.
The real dream is getting him to take a nap. So what brings you by?
Just curious, really. Wondering what it's like being a Grey Warden. They've always been these legendary warriors living apart from the world.
Don't know about that. I spent time with people who were bad right up till they took their vow.
How so?
Weishaupt is the last stop for the wrong sort. If you're facing prison or worse, you can always join the Grey Wardens and take your chances with the Blight.
I've heard about Weishaupt. Never been there.
It's a giant fortress and home of the Grey Wardens. It's been standing for as long as anyone remembers. At least since the first Blight.
Does it have floating buildings like the lighthouse?
No, but things float up from the latrines.
Fun bunch you hang out with.
The wrong sort have their charm.
And just how, wrong are the wrong sort?
Thieves, brigands, pirates, and the odd murderer now and then.
Sounds fun right up to the murdering.
At least now they're murdering Darkspawn.
Has your first warden always been, well,
A stubborn bastard?
one way of putting it?
He means well in his own way. He's old-fashioned. Tradition is everything. Keeps us disciplined. We never deviate from it.
He'll have to. Elgranon and Gillenane won't play by his rules.
If he even believes in them. The man doesn't have much imagination. Even the right sort can be the wrong sort.
A hot meal and a warm bed in Weishaupt is better than rotting in some dungeon.
It would be, but the food's always cold, and Weishaupt's drafty in the winter.
You're really selling it.
It gets better. When Darkspawn threaten a village, when innocent people are in danger, then we swoop in, swords held high, armor gleaming, while 100 faces look to us for salvation. And they all live to see the sunrise because of what we do.
Okay. Now I get it.
Best part is the warden fighting alongside you. Maybe they've done some bad things in the past. But after that day, it's different. There's some honor in their life where there wasn't before. Nothing like seeing redemption happen before your eyes.
We all need that chance. Put past sins to right.
It makes the warden stronger to have people in our ranks who've lived in the shadows. When the storm comes, you don't want farmers and florists fighting archdemons. It takes the wrong sort to put the world right.
Kind of like us, I suppose.
Minus the skeleton butler.
I don't know. Manfred the Warden. Has a ring to it.
How about we quit while we're ahead? See you around.
We should get fish next time we're in Minrathous.
Well, it's all as you left it?
Close enough. I think the caretaker's been tidying up. Rook, now's not the best time to chat. Let's talk later.
Later then.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here. And I did, sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Also that, it's kind of mean.
Just insult it right back. Assuming you know how to insult a spirit.
I've never thought about it. How would you do that? Emmerich might know. That is an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways. So, if you're powerful, like almost God-level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Really condescendingly, based on experience so far.
Right! You wouldn't ask questions, you'd tell them what to do, so let's try that. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. It came later.
What do you mean by it came later?
Oh, I meant later after Elvenon fell. We didn't call them the Forgotten Ones till after that. They were the bad gods. Disease, pestilence, weren't supposed to speak their names. Not like the good gods, you know, Elgernon, Gillenane. But now we know the truth about the Evanurus. So we don't know for sure what the Forgotten Ones were, I mean. They used to say Solus was one, so best case scenario like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive, tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fen'Harel.
Archive, tell me about the Evanurus.
A group of cowards, hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable. Their war is unending, but Anaris will prevail.
You have a chance to learn more about your people. Go for it. Just be careful and try not to break anything.
Right. Thanks, Rook.
All thanks must be given to Anaris, for he will cast down the oppressive Evanuris and take his rightful place.
What a shame I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
I'm sorry, but I find it completely unnatural.
I don't get why you think cremation's so bad. Everyone outside Navarra burns their dead.
All those lost vessels, fine mansions reduced to ash. Manfred, for instance, how would his wisp have fared if I hadn't given it a body?
Where or who'd you get his body from?
There was no single donor. The arms were recovered from a charnel pit. The ribs were a gift from a dear friend. And Manfred's wisp picked out his own skull from some donations. That was quite the day. He's been fine company during my necropolis excursions ever since.
What does Manfred understand exactly?
Simple things, but he grows. Spirits of curiosity are voracious learners. The more he experiences, the more sophisticated his conclusions. With guidance, of course.
Manfred's very aware for one of the common dead.
Isn't he? You can see why I couldn't leave him behind. I encountered him as a wisp in the necropolis years ago. A simple spirit, but so curious. He refused to leave my side.
So, you built a skeleton for the spirit to live in?
Spirits are formed from the emotions and desires of people in the mortal realm. Manfred's wisp came from curiosity. It's these spirits which animate the dead. Their drive revives the corpse, yet the corpse colors their actions. Thus, the eternal question, are undead inhuman spirits puppeting a body, or does some shade of the departed return?
We place spirits into bodies for convenience. There's little evidence the old soul returns.
I take the opposite stance myself, though I won't dissemble the argument's reliance on faith.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, you sound different when you talk Mourn Watch things. Way fancier.
I do no such... No, I don't.
Thanks, Professor. I learned a lot today.
My pleasure. How thoughtful, Rook.
Huh. Nice.
Rook, welcome to the Hossberg wetlands. I'd say make yourself comfortable.
This place is...
Foreboding?
Yes. Well, foreboding is normal here, but it's worse than usual.
The Blight's always a problem in the Anderfels. It's not strange to find a corrupted patch of forest or swamp.
What is strange is the sudden surge of blight through the Hossberg wetlands. Much like the village you found, the blight here struck too quickly. and in strange forms.
It's choked the whole area, and the local village, Lavendel, was caught in it. But they're survivors. We can be grateful for that.
If there was a place that needed wardens,
Then here we are.
As far as we can tell, the gods you're chasing weren't here directly.
If the Blight's really changed, then the changes are widespread. As for how much,
I can almost sense something in there. Another sound under the Blight's usual song.
stories say wardens sense blight. I never thought it was literal.
It happens when you join the Order. But that's more than I should say.
when we met, you tried to block the sound out. Now you hear too much.
If it helps, that's what we're here for.
Become a warden, hear the blight. And people think Watcher initiations are scary.
Do you work with spirits? That's not so bad. Demons, though. I don't like demons.
Things can get restless in the necropolis. Anyway, what's the plan?
We heard rumors of the surge here and volunteered to investigate. The first warden expects a report. Soon.
If we want proof the Blight's changed, then this place is where to find it.
But the way the Blight left the village, we've had our hands full just keeping it back and helping the sick.
You need more to study.
Yes. The odd growths the Blight has formed, like boils, they surround Lavendel. I need more samples.
So you two study the blight?
Formally? No. Well, maybe. It depends on your definition.
We travel a lot, and tend to get sidetracked by weird problems.
Who knew I'd roam so far from Orlais? If we want to help, we need to learn what we're dealing with.
I'll see what I can do. This place is lucky to have you.
Trying to make us like you?
Is it working?
I'm not complaining. I'll give you something to contain the Blight. Oh, and watch for Darkspawn.
Can't sing our praises if you're dead.
Good point. See you soon.
Oh, hello. Another day.
What happened, happened. Not changing now.
You've been to the farmlands. There's a family. Voss. I'm close with him, with Ursa. They spoke of the Blight. The Blight. Before all of this happened. They knew. But if they knew, why aren't they here?
If I find anything, I'll let you know.
You're here to help? You think you and 2 wardens can fix all this? Got what you need?
I once felled a tree and there was a spirit inside. It nearly stopped my heart to see it. I made a headboard from that tree. The couple who bought it said they had strange dreams.
Are you here to help Lavendel? I'm Bastion. There's more out there than Blight. You must be careful.
Of what?
I heard something from up at Gaspin Manor while I was escaping here. The place has been abandoned for years. They say the Lord had some cursed treasure. One day he just disappeared. Could the Blight awaken a curse? If it draws evil here, the treasure's up there somewhere. It should have been destroyed.
I wouldn't be surprised if damage from the Blight stirred something up.
Whether it's...
Something strange at this Gaspin Manor. People in Lavendel believe it's cursed.
You've come a long way. If you want a short drink, you let me know.
It came through so far. I didn't have time to grab it. I don't know. I don't know what I should have grabbed.
You did what you could.
Lavendel Village. This can't turn out like Demetta's Crossing.
It's still standing, and I'll fight to keep it that way.
Hey. Got food if you're looking. Not much to forage out there.
Huh. Something's blocking it from the other side.
How is training?
fine.
Look at what the Blight has done to this place.
Davren, if there's any advice you can send to Treviso about handling the Blight.
I'll pass it on. Though some details are only for wardens.
Are you serious? You're clinging to your order's secret.
The job continue.
Make it hurt.
Your life for theirs.
On it.
That did it, Davren.
No problem.
Now's your chance. A clean strike.
Davren, if there's any advice you can send to Treviso about handling the Blight.
I'll pass it on. Though some details are only for wardens.
Are you serious? You're clinging to your order's secrets now?
It's not about secrecy, Lucanus. When you're resistant to the Blight like we are, wardens can take more risks. Or do you want untrained civilians spreading it further?
Right. I'm sorry.
I mean, I get how you feel. But let's make this better, not worse.
We're not safe.
They're behind you. End this.
No! I'm ready, Rook.
Targets ahead. Have you thought about it?
Our families have always lived here.
Consider it done. Got it. Will do. You got it.
The market is a field hospital now? Good to see the sick and injured are being treated.
The Anta make demands, friends, but so do the crows. Protect as it is. They are in league with the village.
But they paid.
So much suffering. The gods are sending a warning to other cities.
Welcome back. All our clothing is resistant to bloodstains.
I'm on. Have at it, Davrin.
Of course.
The chantry over there used to be the preferred meeting spot for our clients before the invasion.
I much prefer their open-air structures. Or no structures at all.
There, that pile of blight. That's what Chance wanted us to clear out.
Must get rid of his quickly.
Target those blight boils. That should... It's working. We're weakening it.
Look left!
Way to get it done. It's all yours.
I have never heard Darkspawn make a noise like that.
I've heard some of the new ones. Nice hit.
You're at range.
Watch out, on your left.
Just say
I set him up.
on it.
Coming in range.
Now's your chance.
They're at range.
Save a little for the rest of us, Rook.
Hassan, go.
On the job. We'll be all right.
As you say. I caught my breath.
On it.
There you go. Take him out. Incoming! Coming at range!
Stay in cover! Safe. On the job.
Range! Incoming!
Let's see. Well done.
Can't take much more of this. Nice move, Rook.
Just say when.
Got it. I'm ready. Tell me what you need. No problem.
Just say when.
Thanks, Lucanus. Not bad. For a crow.
End this.
Ready again.
Ready.
Finished. You can do better than that, Lucanus. Watch for ranged attack. Good job, Dapper. Happy to help. I'm good to go. Behind you! I put him
right where you want them.
They're at range. On your left.
Good to go again. Come on, show us your team.
Now's your chance! Behind you!
Say
they were done. Time to finish this, Rook.
I hate to say it, but we should take a look at that darkspawn. Something was off about it. This darkspawn's wearing a necklace. The pendant's shaped like a crow.
that specific pendant represents House Deriva.
We need to show this to Chance. Chance, we got rid of the blight in the streets, but we also found this crow pendant on a darkspawn.
Is that... This was Airs, our trainer for the fledglings. She went missing. That darkspawn you fought must have been... May she rest. And sadly, I must ask you to search for another wayward crow. I have not seen Fletcher, our merchant, in a few days. Sadly, correct. They were sending me reports of Anton movements. Despite this blight, our invaders are planning something. Here are Fletcher's roots. If the blight found them, they deserve a clean end. Like any crow. We have company.
Right. Gotta move.
Nice work, Rook!
Keep that up.
Ready, Rook?
As you say.
Now! Clear.
It's Fletcher! So you... Stay in cover! Range incoming! Coming at range!
Get out of there!
Rook, hold on! As you say.
Save him!
Nice hit, Rook!
check the body to make sure it's really Fletcher. A sealed tube with notes and code?
I cannot read it, but that cipher belongs to House de Riva.
We should take this back to Chance and let him know Fletcher's at peace. Chance? We found Fletcher.
Maker, guide them to your side.
Fletcher also had these notes.
Always scrupulous. If this is information on the Antom...
Are you all right?
Merely a cold. Thank you, my friends. I must now think and figure out what the Antom are plotting.
Here they come.
Understood.
On it! Thanks, Davern.
Whatever gets it done.
More of that, Rook.
Everyone still alive? We need that report. Merlin. Asking about.
They found more relics.
Be happy to sell you a bit or a bob. Or both. Come back alive.
Balara, I need your help.
Elio, what's wrong?
Can you help? There are veil jumpers in the forest who have been gone too long. They were searching for relics. With the recent troubles, they could use a protective escort to bring those relics back to camp.
I'll start the search.
And I'll stay here, in case someone shows up.
Trouble coming.
Over there. That could be the haunting spirit Myrna told us about.
The Veil Jumpers talk about a spirit roaming these woods. This is the god showed up, I mean. We called them Nocturnix. I heard its sleep was stolen by the gods. Now, it steals other people's sleep.
Rook!
Stay in cover. Impressive, Rook.
On the job.
Just
coming.
Stay in cover!
I'm ready.
Ready, Rook?
Thanks for God. That's one less spirit stirring up trouble.
Arlington sure doesn't need any more. Trouble, that is. Maybe now he'll get the sleep that was stolen from him.
There it is. That's the Veil Jumper camp. That relic just went off. What happened to that Veil Jumper? He was right here. Oh, this isn't good. We need to find him.
Is anyone out there?
One of those magical relics the Veil Jumpers were dealing with must be nearby. A spatial anomaly. We can't reach that Veil Jumper unless we find some way around it.
Got it.
Please help!
One relic down. More to go. Hard to believe these things are causing so much trouble.
You saved me. I'm saved. I'm alive. I was working on the relic and then everything went dark and quiet. It felt like nothing and nowhere. I'll catch my breath and make my own way back to camp.
There are others missing. We'll continue searching for them. Looks like another relic nearby. Damn, we were too late. That's probably one of the missing veil jumpers. Let's get that barrier down. Must be a magical relic causing this.
Can anyone hear me?
We're gonna get you out.
Still in one piece.
I kept calling and calling, and no one came. It felt like an eternity, and the shadows were so dark. So dark. But I'll be all right. I'll make my own way back to the camp.
Bet one of those magical relics is close.
It's causing magic to go wild. You have to stop it. Deactivate the relic and the barrier goes away. I said.
Laura? That's one less relic stirring things up.
Oh, thank the creators. Did Elio send you? I have to talk to him once I return to camp. It's so odd. I've seen relics like that before. I know how they work, but this one, it was wrong.
I think that's everyone. Let's get back to Elio.
Thanks again for dinner last night, Lucanus. That cream sauce.
A little mustard makes the difference. Though, my supplier in Treviso is...
Oh, so... Hey, what's the best thing you've ever eaten? Something fancy?
We ate a prison
petitioner's nightmare. He dreamed a bloodthirsty tree with 10,000 branches.
Aye, she was asking me, Spite.
Do we have the latest scouting report?
I found most of your friends, but one didn't make it. I'm sorry.
We all know the risks, but it's still difficult when someone gets hurt. There's one last relic out there we never found. If you come across it, be careful. I think someone's meddling with the magic in Arlethan.
I'll try to be safe.
I was not certain you would come.
You were the one who walked away. I never turn my back when my friend needs me.
The Evenuris seek the magic of the Blight.
Impossible. The Blight is safely sealed away forever.
Though I wish I could believe you, I have sensed the breaking of the wards.
I will investigate your claims. If they forget the danger of the Blight, I will endeavor to remind them.
What if, instead, you left the Evenuris and remained with me? Do you not wish for freedom from this struggle?
Be at peace, love. I will stop them.
As you must. The Blight is our mistake.
Did Mythal call Solus love in that memory?
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it. The Elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they express things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
Oh, they were absolutely doing it.
Being with someone you're rebelling against? Doesn't sound like Solus.
He also met her in secret and talked about how they could run off together.
It sounded so tragic and romantic.
Oh, wait. Never mind. That does sound like him.
So the Dread Wolf goes to Mythal. They might be fighting, but they have history.
And he warns her about the other gods using the Blight. That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Mythal didn't think it was possible. She said the Blight was sealed away. There's an old legend about it. Davrin, the one with Andrul's armor. Not sure it matters.
We are deep in Elven lore already. What's the legend say?
Right. Well, Andrul was the goddess of the hunt. She put on armor, magic armor, made of something called the Void, drove her mad.
I remember this one. The other gods were afraid Andrul would turn on them. She was doing all kinds of horrible things, causing plagues. It does sound like the Blight.
Well, it all ends with Mythal fighting Andrul. After, Mythal turned into a dragon.
She what? Why didn't you start with that?
Anyway, she took Andrul's armor away. Then Andrul's madness left, and peace returned.
Intriguing. So it's possible Andrul stumbled onto the magic of the Blight.
And when Andrul went mad, Mythal took it from her and locked it away.
Until someone started using it again.
The Blight's one of the only things that really scares Solus. He came to Mythal afraid.
And she took it seriously, too.
So Mythal goes off to investigate what Solus says. Then, what? It's too clean.
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
But this isn't just a memory. It's something Solus wanted to hide. What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
I think I might know. When the Inquisitor was saving the world from the breach, he met Mythal.
What? Like in a dream?
It was complicated. She helped the Inquisition. There was a magic pond and a dragon. Nice! The point is, she also said the other elven gods betrayed her, killed her.
Okay, sorry. Point of order. If they killed Mythal, how was she still around to help the Inquisition?
Rook, as a fellow Watcher, you know there are ways.
I'm not saying she couldn't help from beyond the grave. I'm just asking how.
Elven god magic? She'd spent centuries gathering strength and sharing people's bodies, I think.
If it was a truly benign possession, that speaks to her character.
Solus tried to do the right thing by warning Mythal about the other gods using the Blight. But he got her killed.
Well, it's not just that she died.
What do you mean, Tosh?
It's... Ugh. There was stuff he wanted to tell her, but he waited too long, and then she was dead. He never got to make it right. That twists you up.
That's it. There's our crime.
Doesn't really tell us anything we can use, though.
We know more than we did. That's something.
Then I guess we keep our eyes open if we come across more of these memories.
You dare to try to cage us, jealous of our growing power!
You will pay the final price for this betrayal. We warned you not to use the Blight. For this, and for Mythal, I sentence you to sleep in exile ever after. Your own lives will form the veil that keeps the horror you unleashed at bay.
So he locked the gods away and created a veil between this world and the Fade. I mean, they were terrible, no question. But what he did, it didn't just stop them. It destroyed our culture, our world.
It wasn't just to stop them. It was to stop the Blight. We've seen how bad Elganon and Gillenane are. Imagine all 7 corrupted gods running wild.
So he created the Veil just to keep the Elven gods locked in their prison?
Yes, to keep them from accessing the Fade. But was the creation of the Veil around the world an accident?
You heard him yelling. That's not the sound of a ritual going right.
What do you think, Rook?
Honestly, it's a little terrifying. I've studied the Fade for years with the Watchers. The idea that the Veil, a fundamental part of our world, was an accident as Solus sprang his trap?
Astonishing. How little we truly know.
And a good reminder not to start spells you don't know how to finish.
I had another question, and I'm sorry, maybe this doesn't matter, but Solus trapped the blighted gods in an ancient elven building, right?
That's what it looks like. Maybe a palace? Fancier than what I've seen in Arlethan, at least.
And then, the Magisters were lured into the Fade. They broke in, which let the Blight escape, and turned the Golden City black.
Right, and the Black City hangs in the Fade, a little reminder of their mistakes. What's wrong, Lace?
It's just... the Chant of Light says that the Maker built for them the Golden City, the center of all creation. But if the Golden City was an ancient elven palace, then the Maker didn't build it. The elves did. The Chant of Light is Andraste's visions from the Maker, but it sounds like it's wrong.
You're asking if we just disproved the entire Andrastian faith.
Did we?
The Maker was never my faith, Lace. But I don't think you have to give it up.
But what they taught us was just wrong. What if the Maker just doesn't exist?
The Chant of Light might be wrong, but it's been made and changed by people over 1,000 years.
There was a whole verse about an elf named Shartan, and the Chantry just cut it out.
So maybe the Golden City was meant as a metaphor, or maybe it was added because of politics. That might change the history, but it doesn't have to change your whole faith.
The Dalish clans are struggling with the same thing. What do we keep? What do we lose?
The Elven gods, the Maker. No matter who you light a candle to, you've got some hard questions to ask yourself right now.
Doctrine is not the truth. It is one of many paths to the truth.
I recognize the sentiment, though not the specific quote. Who said that?
My mother.
Ah. Questions of faith aside, we have some very real gods that still need killing.
Looks like there are 3 more of these murals with the Dreadwolf's old memories. Wonder what else he's hiding.
You have so long observed the world. Why not consider joining it?
But I have no desire to live as humans. I have the Fade. Besides, this talk of taking on a solid form. I think you underestimate the danger. When you took the glowing stone to build your body, did the earth not shake?
Delirium gives us the strength we had when we were of the Fade. We are the best of physical and spirit. I need your wisdom, Solus. To withstand the louder voices who would go too far like Elganon. I need you.
This is madness. You must know that. I will always follow where you go.
This is astounding. The ancient elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the Blight.
Hey, Lucanus. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... what?
This puts all of Elven history in a new light, not to mention what we think about spirits.
I mean, some magic works differently for elves. If we came from spirits, that'd explain it.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davrin's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
If the world learned about this, and it led to attacks against elves...
Elves have enough trouble as it is down in Ferelden.
We have to tell someone, though. Strife and Irulan, at least.
If I told Thea and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one will believe us.
Okay. We keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solus himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solus didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mythal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solus was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
Lyrium is the blood of the Titans.
The Titans would have felt it as an attack. They defended themselves.
The first memory we saw, with Elgranon seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the Elves.
Lace, I'm so sorry.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solus regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except he did. He was worried, you said it yourself.
He did it for Mythal. Everything that followed, he could have prevented, if he just told her no.
Then he's got a war on his conscience. Plus, whatever we find next.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every Titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful, what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Solus made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. He passed me in the halls of Skyhold for a year. He made polite conversation, and he knew. He knew what he did.
I don't know what to say, Lace. I can't even imagine. I am so sorry.
I served in the Inquisition. I know terrible things happen in war. But to do something like this...
The Titans were the size of mountains. I doubt the elves were winning their fight. He considered this the cost of saving his people.
Fear and guilt make people do stupid things.
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solus.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solus regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The song of Lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal. Mistreated and imprisoned for centuries. Until all it knows is fear.
If the Blight is the Titan's dreams, can we, I don't know, heal it? Bring it back from all that anger?
I'm afraid I have no idea. In theory, it would be possible to restore dreams to the Titans.
You can't set it free before it's healed. You'd have blighted Titans laying waste to the entire world.
The Titans are a problem for later. We have Elgernon and Gillanane to deal with now.
And then I want Solus to look me in the eye and answer for what he did.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this.
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god, the strength that I alone still carry.
The blighted Evanuris will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the Elven people? They deserve it.
The Elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
Solus killed Mythal? After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
No. He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition. We knew Solus woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
Every big mistake Solus made is tied to Mythal. He sacrificed his life as a spirit to join her.
He sacrificed his morals when he created the dagger to stop the Titans.
When the other gods struck her down, he destroyed the Elven Empire to avenge her.
Then he wakes up in this world, where everything's gone but his mistakes. And there she is, alive.
And after all he's done, she sides against him again.
All these mistakes are his fault, and hers too. If she won't help him fix the world, of course he has to kill her.
So, how does everything we know help us now?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mythal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the veil. His very nature is tied to it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Mythal has him all messed up. Anything about her or Elgernon is gonna make him angry. Sloppy.
Solus thinks he knows what's best for everyone. Anything he does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
Solus has caused a lot of damage, but he's not like Elgradon trying to wreck the world to rule it. He's trying to repair the damage he caused, and he knows he's made mistakes. There might be hope for him.
You don't think he'll turn on us?
No, he's totally gonna turn on us. I mean, after that.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller, almost to its end.
Almost? How can there be more?
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the ages. An audience is warranted. Speak with your visitor. She awaits you in the crossroads.
Well met, Rook.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Illuvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Illuvians in general, yes, but not the Dreadwolf's Crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait, how do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dreadwolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
The Elven gods had access to magic beyond anything we can imagine?
To be sure, but it matters less what they possessed than what they were. You recall that the first elves were spirits, do you not? Mythal was a spirit turned Elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit she returned. Her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again she was struck down, on this occasion by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
You're Mythal? That's why the ambient magic around you is so fractured.
Such a flattering picture you paint of this ancient bond.
What? That was like how Elgradon and Gillinan can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remain free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time, I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elganon? Or Solus?
The last time Mythal faced Elganon and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right. So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
This isn't the strangest thing I've heard, but it's close.
'Tis difficult to describe, even now. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me. But I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mythal's and of those who bore her.
How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes. The Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
I should ask you. Mythal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf, were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mythal? I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Solus talks a lot about what has to be done, being forced to make hard choices. But it's like he's trying to talk himself into it. I think, deep down, he doesn't entirely believe what he's saying.
'Tis exactly like the old wolf to tie himself into the most intricate knots. 'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
Well, that's not terrifying at all.
You have been thrust into the lives of gods. Fate will have its way, whether or without our permission.
Even more comforting, Morrigan.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solus recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Another fragment of Mythal? In addition to the one inside you?
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dirthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
All of that sounded great until survived the encounter.
You know Solus, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Elganon and Gillenane, or against the Dreadwolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other?
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanurus, and then by Solus, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solus is Elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Elganon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
Thank you for the information, Morgan.
I only ask that you reflect upon what I have said. The Dreadwolf is not so apart from the world as he thinks. There, you have the advantage of him.
fragment, sharper than the whole, prevail, or be sundered completely.
We're getting close to where Morgan said that other fragment of Mythal was. That has to be her.
How should we do this, Rook? Do you think she'll talk to us?
Guess we'll find out.
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. We made ourselves bodies to be like humans, but I never expected to see humans scurrying about in the Dread Wolf's crossroads. And you know who I am.
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evenuris, if this can be called surviving. Solas. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Why are you here? To beg me to give up what remains of myself to help you defeat the monsters Elganan and Gillenane have become? Or do you simply think yourself ready to fight a god?
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world and—
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
We saw Solas's memories, his regrets.
You saw the recollection he cultivated like a tree twisting to catch the sun. You wish for my help? Convince me. Make your case, and I will yield my essence willingly to help you against Elganan and Gillenane. Fail, and I shall kill you for wasting my time, or you will kill me and obtain my essence in doing so. A harder-edged, simpler version. It has been centuries since a petitioner stood before me, so why should I help you?
I am worthy of your help.
That is for me to judge.
I am fighting to protect this world.
Any petty tyrant can fight those who come to their land and claim to be protecting their people. I have seen rulers, human as you are, the mages of Tevinter, following in the Elven Empire's footsteps. They build nothing that does not serve them. Why should I believe you are any better? What is a protector to you?
I can't really say. All I can say is that I'm trying to follow your example. You are the ideal.
Ugh! Pathetic. I will not sacrifice myself for some pandering courtier. Your words are weak. Prove your worth or die.
Everyone, get ready!
Her draconic form is quite formidable.
We're getting close to where Morgan said that other fragment of Mythal was. That has to be her.
Do you believe she'll be willing to speak with us? Or are we bound?
You are Rook. We may... And you...
Mythal.
Solas. Why? Or do you simply think...
If I don't stop the gods, the whole world will be corrupted by the Blight.
That is why you must succeed, so tell me why I must help you.
We know the truth about the Blight. We know it came from the imprisoned dreams of the Titans after you and Solus defeated them.
And?
Stopping the Blight mattered enough for you to talk with Solus even after he rebelled against you. It mattered enough for you to stand against the other gods.
And I was struck down for doing so, betrayed by those I had ruled beside for centuries.
You made the difficult choice to protect your home because it was the right thing to do. Help me do the same.
Not bad, but not enough. Let us speak of something else.
You can't want Elgar'non and Gillenane to rule the world. Not after what they did to you.
I ruled alongside them for centuries. I bear them no love now, and they were ever flawed, as all rulers are. Yet the world needs rulers. So set the Blight aside and tell me why I should help you topple them.
What they did to you was wrong.
And you care so deeply for the injustice done to me thousands of years ago.
You deserve justice, and they deserve to be punished for misusing their power and killing you when you tried to check them.
If you wish to prove your worth, you must do better than that.
Solus is helping me.
Solus is using you. Besides, why should I esteem the Dreadwolf's approbation? He rebelled against me.
But the two of you stayed close.
Until he killed the tattered fragment of me who hid inside the human swamp witch and wept. He keeps me here, yet has not visited since waking from his slumber. Tell me this. What should I have done when Solus turned against me after all we had been to one another?
Maybe you should have listened when he warned you about staying on as rulers after the war.
Are you saying I was wrong?
You asked me what you should have done. I can't prove my worth by lying to you. Solus didn't want to manifest a physical body or destroy the Titans. He did things he hated because he cared about you. Supporting you and Elgar'non becoming rulers was the one line he wouldn't cross. If someone who followed you everywhere refused to follow you there, what does that say?
Your arguments are compelling. I find you worthy, Rook. I have spent thousands of years watching. I shall miss that. But if what I am can protect the innocent and smite the guilty, this is what remains of me. I give it to you freely. Use it to protect this world with kindness when possible and cunning when necessary.
I will. Thank you.
I offer one further boon. I cannot enter the physical world or the pure Fade, but in this place, I still carry some power. Evil has intruded here. The Blight, seeded by Elgar'non and Gillenane. Find it, and when you meet your greatest challenge, I will fly one last time.
The essence of a god. Like a piece of the sun. I've never felt something so alive.
Well done. But we must find a purpose for this wonder.
A god knows her moment. At least, her essence does. When the time comes, we'll be ready. We did it. We got Mythal's essence.
And we didn't even have to fight her for it.
Not sure what we do with it just yet, but if Morgan's telling the truth, it'll come in handy at some point.
You seem at home here. Or is it a front? You know something I don't? So much for a straight answer.
Nev, you don't strike me as an animal person. Besides cats, maybe.
Oh, I'm not. Back home, you find a creature bigger than a cat, and it's probably half demonic. Damned if a third of the cats aren't either.
Not a demon, but you've got grit, right, Hassan? Sure you do.
Of all the nonsense we've run into, you're what's strange.
Hassan? Really?
There's been a god or two I didn't expect. But bad mages trying to make the world worse, that's not new. I had an uncle who went on about wardens and griffins. Loved the feathered things. They were always the heroes. If we're getting bedtime stories turned real, having griffins in the world again, it's not the one I'd have bet on.
Were you close with your uncle?
I didn't see him much, but yeah, we were. There aren't a lot of mages in my family, and in a city like Minrathous, it always matters. I learned quick who wanted to use me to step up the social ladder. My uncle wasn't one of them. He'd have talked your ear right off, Hassan.
You know you're sweet with him?
Aren't I always?
I walked into that.
Sing your praises and you still want something? I'll find you a treat if you don't tell Davrin. Have we got a deal?
Hey Hassan, between you and me, I think I like her. A lot. Yeah.
Listen up. If Davrin finds crumbs, Rook takes the fall.
Falling. On it.
Good taste.
The fires are lit.